to the X, from the Sixers to the Fields. One voice cuts through, giving you the real. He broke the stories, he started the fire, launched the whole game back in '86, never retired. Heroes crown him, yeah, they call him the king. Fur coat flashing, bling bling in every ring. He's the hardest working, great talking dog. Call in with your take, but don't get it wrong. He'll call you a nitwit if you're acting a fool, but deep down you love it. That's the Eskin rule. Riding with the king, yeah, we're riding with the king. Howard Eskin show, let the truth ring. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, he knows the deal. Philly sports royalty, bow down and kneel. Riding with the king, put your hands in the air. From South Philly streets to the Delaware. No filter, no fear, just the facts on the mic. It's the Howard Eskin show. Let's go get sight. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king.
Yes, you are. Yes, and yes, and yes, you are right. As Marv Albert used to say, yes, you are riding with the king on the Howard Eskin show as we're live on this Wednesday night. People already chimed in from Clearwater, a little chilly in Clearwater these days, from Arizona. But thanks for joining the show. Another great guest. First of all, second of all, whatever. I always have fun on this show, and having great guests make it even more fun than the fun I already have. And Charles Barkley will join us shortly. Charles always has something to say. It's nice to get good people that say something. And I try to always do that. And I also want to tell you that this fine show is presented by Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff Stillwell, the award-winning Jeff Stillwell, given the award in the Circle of Success. It's an annual recognition program. Jeff established himself as, I've been telling you this, as one of the company's top advisors. Select number of high-performing advisors earn this award, and it's presented by Ameriprise Financial to their top-performing advisors. Jeff Stillwell can help you with your future investments. Everything changes so much. It's like every day something's changed. And Jeff Stillwell is always on top of it. Give him a call, 732-343-0813, Stillwell Financial Advisors. A lot to talk about tonight after Charles. And we'll talk about the Eagles. The combine's going on and all kinds of things. There's all kinds of chatter. It's just chatter after chatter after chatter. But we'll talk about that. Players that maybe not be back with the Eagles next year. Some players in the draft and positions in the draft that the Eagles, after the combine, different players could be possibilities. We'll talk about that. The one thing that I do want to show you before I get to some other things here, on my suit, Maroney Custom Tailors. Those are my doggies lining my suit in celebration of my doggies. There they are, all over the inside of the suit. Let's pick it up. Yeah, all my doggies are there. So Maroney Custom Tailors, put them in there. I wanted to give my doggies, in memory of them, a shout out on the show. Also, I want to tell you, before we get into Charles, we will take a question, as I always do, a question from something Charles said, and you have a chance to win a pair of Oakley sunglasses. Just go to my website, howardeskin.com, go to the contact page, have your answer in by midnight this Friday, February 27th. Watch on Saturday, whether it's X, Twitter, same thing, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube and share on YouTube. You can do all those things, but YouTube, I know they all notify you when I come on, but YouTube, I know, does a good job of that as well. The winner will be randomly chosen from all correct entries of the question that I asked after we're done with Charles. Also, some other great partners on the show. Thomas Chevrolet. Good people, family owned business. Actually, the vehicles are really nice. I didn't know that until I went over there, and I'm driving the Equinox, but they're a family owned business, 38 years in business. And you can tell as soon as you walk in, it's kind of a family atmosphere. It's nice, and people are really good to you, and the family is there all the time. So I would suggest if you're looking for a vehicle, right now you can get up to $14,000 in savings, which is available, 0% APR financing up to 60 months available, whether it's the Corvette, Equinox, Silverado, Traverse, or Tahoe. They are also, Thomas Chevrolet, a certified Corvette specialist. Also important with Thomas Chevrolet. This is interesting because most dealers that have a certain product don't do service on other vehicles. Thomas Chevrolet will do that. Just any vehicle, pop it in, and they have a great, and they'll do service on your vehicle if you so choose. Pre-owned as well as new vehicles, a great selection of pre-owned. Did I give you the address? If I didn't, here it is: 1263 West Baltimore Pike in Media, or give them a call at Thomas Chevrolet, 610-566-8600, or on the internet, thomaschevy.com. Also, I want to tell you about Piaza Property Pros and something new that they have right now. They're into the podcast world.
Hi, I'm Liz Piaza, and I'm Operations Manager for Piaza Outdoor Living. I have my granddaughter here with me today, Mackenzie, who's going to share some great news for our future of the company.
We're excited to announce our new podcast, Dirt to Dollars. This podcast is designed for families, homeowners, and anyone who loves creating beautiful outdoor spaces. We'll be talking about outdoor living trends, pools, hardscape, landscape, project highlights, and even behind the scenes with our teams. This podcast will be featuring guest speakers in the industry and more.
Check us out on Dirt to Dollars by Piaza Outdoor Living.
You can get. Okay, we know we've already seen you, Liz. And if you want to get a hold of Piaza, whether you want to build a pool, you want to do any of the other things, pool maintenance, 610-566-2608. Schedule a free consultation. That's 610-566-2608, or check them out at piazzaoutdoor.com. And I always have, as I told you, terrific guests on the show. And he is probably nudging the top 10. Actually, he's at the top. He's somewhere around the top. Let me welcome in the man. He got 100 nicknames, so I'll bypass all that. With his great weight loss, so he's not the round mound of rebound anymore. It is Charles Barkley. Charles, it's always fun talking to Charles. Congratulations on the weight loss too. People don't realize how difficult that is, and it's people need the mental support for other people. But you're doing a great job, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, brother. Hey, shout out to Row.co. The drug I've been taking is called Zepbound. And I'm telling you, if there's anybody out there struggling with their weight, try to get on these drugs, man, because they're beneficial, especially when you get older, because it's harder to lose weight when you get older. You know, I started out at 355 because I gained like 100 pounds when I got my hips, and right now I'm 270. And man, you know what, Howard? I tell you what, one thing about being fat, you don't realize how crappy you feel until you start losing weight, because you get so used to feeling like crap. And like I say, I started at 355 with this drug called Zepbound, and I'm 270 now. My goal that was my actual goal weight, 270. But I changed it and said, no, let me get to 265. I mean, obviously in my heyday, I was 250. I'm not trying to get back there. Mm-hmm. But I want to get to 265, 270, because as my doctor said, ain't no fat old people, brother. Ain't no fat old people.
Well, no. Well, it's good to lose weight, because for the best reason, it's healthier. So
100%.
That's the best thing. All right, let's get into, you're doing so many things, but the state of the NBA I just don't think it's a good game, and a lot of people don't think it's a good game. Like, where is it, and what's wrong with it?
Well, listen, I think it's a very interesting time for the NBA for a couple of reasons. Number one, it just became a 3-point shooting contest every night. And these guys, I love these coaches, and they're like, "Well, we didn't make enough shots." I'm like, "No shit, Sherlock Holmes. If it was that simple, we just had a shooting contest every night. But you should always have a plan B. It's all right to drive to the basket, take a layup or a mid-range jumper every now and then. So I think that's one of the problems with the NBA. It just become a 3-point shooting contest. But what I think the biggest issue is the um, the load management. Howard, number one, I ain't no hater. God bless these guys, no matter how much money they make. That's just whatever they make, they make. But you can't have guys making 50, 60, $70 million, and it's probably going to go higher with this new television deal. You can't have guys saying, I can't play basketball 2 days in a row. I mean, that's just flat out crazy. I mean, I think it's disrespectful to the game. I think it's disrespectful to the fans. Can you imagine, Howard, these people who pay their hard-earned money to come see a guy making $75 million a year saying, I can't play tonight because I played last night? It ain't like we a steel worker. I mean,
Right.
I'm pretty sure steel workers and doctors and nurses and firemen and teachers and policemen don't want to go to work every day and they're not compensated fairly. But for guys to be making $60, $70 million to come out and say, you know what, I can't play basketball 2 days in a row. That's just disrespectful to the game and to the fans. That to me is the biggest issue.
I put up a graphic last week. John Stockton, Hall of Fame player, really good player, didn't get enough credit because he played in Utah, but he was a stud. Times played all 82 games. They went his first 19 seasons. That's what Stockton played, and LeBron, whatever. His first 19 seasons. He's a fraud. His first 19 seasons, he played all 82 games once. John Stockton played 16 seasons, all 82 games. And that doesn't even include the playoffs. And they made the playoffs, many, many times. Utah was a good team.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a joke. And then nobody can say anything. They supposedly got rid of load management. So now they call it load injury management. So they just changed the name. It's disgraceful. And they just decide, well, I don't want to play tonight. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's a problem. Listen, and what really pisses us old heads off is number one, there's no physicality in the game anymore. So okay, we took that out. Adam Silver, who's done a good job, he took back-to-backs out basically. But also, these guys fly private. They got the best medical staffs in the world. They got hyperbaric chambers. They got cold plunges. They got hot plunges. I mean, like, damn, y'all got it all. And y'all still can't play basketball 2 days in a row. But like I say, Howard, it's disrespectful to the game, but it's really disrespectful to the fans because these people are paying so much money to watch us play. And can you imagine, like, let's just say me and my heyday or Dr. J, we played the Indiana Pacers one night, and we're going to play the Boston Celtics or the New York Knicks the next night and says, hey, you know what? I'm not going to play at the Boston Garden or I'm not going to play at the Spectrum. Can you imagine how the fans would have went crazy? Because anytime we played the Celtics or the Knicks back in the day, it was a really big deal. And like I say, man, anytime you or me or anybody over 15 say something bad about these young guys, we're haters, which is crazy. Like, I don't ever care how much money y'all make. But the most important thing is always respect the game and to play basketball. Like I say, teachers, firemen, policemen, nurses, and people like that, anybody in the armed service have to get up and go bust their hump every single day for no money. If they could get up and go to work every day For 60, $70 million, you can get your ass on a basketball court and run up and down there for 35 minutes a night. Give me a break.
And they don't even run the full court, most of them anymore. They stop. They don't even get to the 3-point line sometimes anymore. They're taking 30 footers, a
Yeah.
lot of these players. So they don't even exert themselves as much going up and down the court as they used to. I don't get, but the NBA lets them get away with it. And there's nothing they can do,
Well,
apparently.
we're not like football. When you get that 30, $40 million a year guaranteed, there's nothing anybody can do. And you're really at the mercy, especially if you're a coach, you're at the mercy of your best player because your best player is going to set the tone for the entire team. And if your best player is an asshole, you're pretty much screwed as a coach because they're going to fire the coach all the time. I mean, you can't fire players. So as a coach, you're really at the mercy of your best player, and hopefully he's a good dude.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. The best player on the 76ers is obviously Tyrese Maxey, because he plays hard. He plays for his team. He listens to the coach, something that the big guy doesn't really do. I know Shaq has been back and forth when you guys have been on the air, back and forth with Embiid being good and Embiid not playing hard enough. Your thoughts, Joel Embiid, just let me point out, the last game before the All-Star game, he decides he's not going to play. Now he's not going to play the first game after the All-Star game, after having a week off. There's a point where you got to say, every once in a while, if you have a little soreness, you still got to play the game. Your thoughts on Joel Embiid?
Well, I'm a big Joel Embiid fan. It's been frustrating and disappointing to me the way this thing is played out because, listen, as much as I love Maxey, the Sixers aren't going anywhere without a great Joel Embiid. And it's a really tough situation because they got him for the next X amount of years.
I think it's at least two more.
At least two more. I mean, nobody's going to take that contract. So if he doesn't, and he was playing well. He played well recently too.
He
But the thing is,
scored points, but he didn't rebound.
well, he's got to do a better
jump.
job on the boards. But the main thing is, Howard, if he doesn't play well, they're not going anywhere. And it's really unfortunate because when he first started, when he got healthy, he was gaining on being the greatest Sixer ever. If he played at an MVP level for 10 years, he'd be in the conversation as the greatest Sixers ever because he was on a straight up trajectory where he was flat out balling. The year he came in second for MVP, the year he won it. And now you got to say, right now he's in the what if category. What if he could have stayed healthy and played? He would have been in the conversation as the greatest Sixer ever. But right now, you just got to sit back and say, damn, I don't know how this thing going to turn out.
Well, they're not going to win any championships, not with he and Paul George. That's for damn sure. And he couldn't be greater than Wilt Chamberlain, who averaged 50 and 25 one year. I don't care who he played against. It's still
No, I'm not
basketball.
saying that, but I'm saying, I'm not going to judge Wilt. He's obviously in my conversation, but I'm saying if Joel could have played at an MVP level for 10 straight years and the Sixers won a championship or two, you got to give him his flowers because Howard, he was flat out balling for a couple of years, and now all that's really out the door because he can't stay healthy and he's not playing enough games.
Well, here's a guy that's 7'2", and he's averaging 7 rebounds a game.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough. He should be
No.
a double-digit rebounding guy.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And he's not big on listening to the coach. He goes in and out of the games when he wants to. I don't really think he plays for his teammates because he just wants to get his points. I don't. And don't you have to be a little more under the basket? But that takes energy. And he loves staying outside because he doesn't have to run, the entirety of the court. I don't like his game. Not anymore. I mean, obviously he was at one time a really good player, but that's been a few years ago. He hasn't been a really good player for a few years.
Well, I think that's where he got a little frustrated with the criticism myself and Shaq were laying on him, shooting too many threes. Because, listen, when he was balling, he was letting the defense off the hook with the threes because nobody want to wrestle with that big monster down in the post, and he was unguardable. And I thought he was selling too much. Then he started going down in the post, and then he ended up winning MVP. Listen, every time he shoots the three, the defense like, thank God that big fella's not in the post. We can't because you can't stop him with one guy, and then you would have to double. So that was my criticism. Yo, man, every time you shoot a three, that's like Shaq. If Shaq shot threes, they'd be like, "Whoo! Thank God he let us off the hook." It's kind of the same thing. And I see Wembanyama starting to go to the basketball and play more in the post, even though he's a good 3-point shooter. Like, yeah, every time you shoot a three, the defense is like, "Thank goodness we didn't have to double that monster in the post," and you take his size advantage away. But listen, man, I hope he gets healthy. You know, I root for the 76ers. I root for the Suns, my two favorite teams that I played for. But man, the East just got very interesting because I think Cleveland is the team to beat right now with the addition of James Harden. And I tell you what, the elephant in the room is Jason Tatum. Man, obviously everybody talks about the Knicks, everybody talk about the Pistons, but I think Cleveland is the front runner in the East right now with the Harden trade. But man, Jaylen Brown, who's probably, in my opinion, the front runner for MVP this year, because everybody thought the Celtics was going to have a washout year. They got the second best record in the NBA right now compared behind the Detroit Pistons, and Jaylen Brown is the reason. But man, from what I've been watching on tape for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I see now he's training with the G League. If Jason Tatum can come back, and they made a trade that nobody's talking about. They went out and got Vucevic, who I think
Yeah,
is gonna. I think he's
nice
really
player.
gonna help them. But it's all contingent on if Jason Tatum can come back and play.
Daryl Morey had the guts to say, who, talk about a con man. He is one of the old timers, but he really is. How does he get a job? How does he get so much money? And he got a job and he got an extension. He's ruined this team. But he's ruined the 76ers. But he signs Paul George to 4 years. The Clippers, out of courtesy, because he was there, we were only going to give him 2 years. Nobody else was going to give him any more than 2 years. And he signs him to 4 years. Like, what are you doing? I mean, Paul George, another guy that decides to take off games. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
joke.
yeah. I think the Sixers are in serious trouble, Howard, especially if Paul and Joel. Obviously they are both on the backside of their career, in my opinion. But I think those contracts are going to hamper the Sixers, and then they're going to be in purgatory. They're going to be in purgatory for the next few years, and that's unfortunate because, man, 1 minute that's how quickly this thing can change. 1 minute you're a contender, and the next minute you're like, damn, we are stuck in the bottom, right around the middle to the bottom for the next. Because, one thing I always say, and people get mad, older players don't get better. They just get older.
And that's exactly the case of the Sixers. You're not going to win because they have two good guards. But the Sixers are 3 to 4 years away from being 3 to 4 years away from being 3 to 4 years away. That's what the Sixers are. I mean, it's really
That's fair.
yeah. And I got a great promotion for the Sixers. Paul George and Joel Embiid at halftime taken out in handcuffs for stealing money.
Hey, Howard, with Daryl Morey giving you money, you can't turn money down. Don't ever turn money down, brother.
I know. Oh, hey, once Embiid got the money, done.
Yeah.
He's done. But I the game has changed a lot. Well, but anyway, Daryl Morey said they're one of the they can compete with the top teams in the East. He said that after the trade deadline. What? What is he looking at?
Well, if everything falls perfectly, they can.
Yeah, but
I've
that's not
said
going to
that
be the
if
case.
if hey, listen, it's a big if. If Joel Embiid can stay healthy, if Paul George can stay healthy, the Sixers are an elite team. But those are two big ifs. You have to go on track record, Howard. Can Joel stay healthy? The answer, I'm hoping he can stay healthy, but I got to go on his track record. Same thing with Paul George. Can he stay healthy? You have to go by your like Joel Embiid is. I don't think he's ever had a full healthy season. Maybe once or twice out of X amount of years. And obviously, Paul George, he's got the suspension now, but he hasn't had a healthy season in probably 4 or 5 years. So you have to like Darren Morey has a point. If everything goes perfectly, the Sixers are a legit team. But
He
it's a
didn't
big
say
if.
if. He didn't say if. He
Yeah, but it
said,
doesn't matter what he says. That's the beauty of sports. It's gonna play out. If those two guys can stay healthy, the Sixers are a really good team. But you have to say, okay, if you had to place a bet, can those two guys stay healthy? The track record says no.
no, I mean, the odds would be unbelievable. I mean, I don't know that either one of them is going to. Well, Paul George can't play 50 games now, but Embiid's not going to get the. I don't know that he's going to get the 45. It's just it's ridiculous when you see the numbers that they have, and I don't know where they are. And from what I understand, because they had the trade with Oklahoma City, they don't even get their first round pick this year because Oklahoma City had the option of taking the first round pick from the Sixers last year or this year. And they decided on this year. And the draft is supposed to be really good this year. So the Sixers don't even have their first round pick. Oklahoma City has it. He's made so many bad trades, so many bad decisions. Again, I don't know how he has a job. I really don't know how he has a job. It's just, I mean, there's some bad management people out there, but it is just absolutely brutal. All right, let me touch on the All-Star game, whatever that is anymore. I don't even know. There's like, does anybody care about the All-Star weekend and the All-Star game, which at one point used to be fun when you played in All-Star games and you played in 11 of them? You guys, I mean, it was fun, but you guys played to win, and you had real games. What is the NBA All-Star weekend or game or games or whatever they call it anymore? What is that anymore?
Well, it's obviously lost its luster. It's been awful for the last X amount of years. This year was a step in the right direction. I didn't like the format where they had three different teams. I would love to see the United States against the world. I think that's the proper perspective. But I thought people went overboard praising these guys for playing hard for one quarter. They were like, man, the All-Star game was awesome. I'm like, they played a quarter. But I would love to see the United States against the world because I think it'll put a tremendous amount of pressure on the world, on the United States, because when you talk about the NBA, the top five players in the league are probably foreign players.
Mm-hmm.
It will force the NBA to really like step up their game, the NBA players, the United States players, because you look at Luca, Joker, Giannis, Shea, Wemby. Those are all European or international players. I think it would really say, yo, man, we better pick it up a little bit. So, listen, man, I hope because you can't have three teams and have guys play hard for one quarter and talk about it was a great success. But it's clearly lost its luster, and they got to figure something out.
Charles, who's the best player in the NBA right now?
Joker?
Yeah, and he still is. The guy, I
Yes.
mean, it's just it's amazing that, and he just still comes out and he does everything well. I don't know that there's anything that he does not do well.
Attract attention to himself. He just wants to be. He just wants to be a great basketball player, which he is. He is tremendous for the league. Uh, he don't care about anything about. He just say, "I just want to play basketball and be left alone." But he didn't. He doesn't deal with any of the BS. He ain't trying to get attention. He just wants to be great at basketball, and he is. He's the best player in the world, in my opinion.
All right, so let me deal with a player that I'm not a fan of, LeFraud James, who always seeks attention. The guy was a great player. There is, not anymore. He's not the same player, but he was a great player. He's not in the top six in my book, and he can try to put the 23 on his chest because he played 23 years and all this other nonsense that they let him do. Is it time for him to say, hey, you know what? Great career. It's time to move on from the NBA.
Well, I think it's time. I mean, I think I like to see him finish next year in Cleveland. I think he's done with the Lakers. I think the Lakers have had. It's time for them to turn that team over to Luca. But I like to see him finish his career in Cleveland. I think it'd be a fitting end. LeBron's a great, great player. He's a really, really good dude. He does seek attention. He loves the limelight. But you know what? Hey, listen, man. I think a lot of people enjoy the limelight, especially when you've been in the limelight as long as him. I mean, he's
Mhm.
been that guy since high school. But the end comes for everybody, and I think it's probably time that he moves on. But I like he's probably definitely gonna want a farewell tour. Uh, he definitely gonna want a farewell tour,
Yeah.
and I like to see him. I like to see him end it in Cleveland personally.
All right. Your top 5 players in the NBA, all time NBA players, top 5.
Michael, uh, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, Kareem, and Wilt. Those are my top 5. Bill Russell, Wilt, and Kareem. No particular order, but I got those 5. I got 6, Kobe Bryant. I
Yep.
got 7 as LeBron.
Wait a minute.
Uh,
You would put LeBron ahead of Bird?
yes.
Bird did
Then I
everything
got
that LeBron did.
well, I did. This is just my list.
Okay.
So that's 6 and 7. LeBron, Kobe, and LeBron. Then I got Magic, Bird, Jerry West, and probably Tim Duncan. That's my like top 10. But it's all. But this is all personal opinion. But I'm never putting anybody ahead of those first 5
No.
because I think because and as much as I love LeBron as a player, I don't think he's better than Kobe Bryant.
Nope.
I've never thought that.
When I look at those 2 guys, I say, who do I want in the last 2 minutes of a game? Do I want Kobe or LeBron? Kobe's a
But
killer. Kobe's a
but
killer.
but I think that's what the things is because the only difference in the guys is Michael and Kobe. They'll kill your ass. LeBron to me is more like Magic Johnson, who's just an all around great player. But if I wanted guys who I have to worry if I wanted guys who can literally, who like will kill you to win a game, Michael and Kobe are in a class by themselves. Now that's not always the right way to win. When you don't want friends, everybody's an enemy. That's the way Michael and Kobe are. But LeBron is actually a nice guy. Like, does he like the attention and everything? Of course he does. But you got to give him his fight. He's a great, great player. But to me, I've always said that's the only difference. Those guys will kill your ass. Michael and Kobe, I know Michael firsthand, and I got to know Kobe a little bit. Those guys only care about one thing, W's and L's. They ain't trying to make no friends. They didn't have any teammates who were friends. And that's just the way they are. And like I say, is that the right way to go about it? That's their way.
Okay. You played with Moses Malone, right?
Yes, and he's the most important person in my basketball career. I
Why is
love
that?
Doc. I love Doc. I love Moses, Maurice Cheeks, Bobby Jones, Clement Johnson, Clint Richardson, and all those guys. And I love Andrew Toney and Cheeks. But Moses is by far the most important person in my career because he told me I was fat and lazy, and he made me lose 50 pounds, which was really important. And like I say, I took it well. First of all, I did cry like a little bitch. I got to admit that. But it really changed the entire complexion of my career. Because like I say, because I was a great player in college, but I was 295, 300 pounds. And you can't do that in the NBA. Howard, I think that a lot of times, you talk about Joel Embiid. I think if Joel Embiid had a Billy Cunningham as a coach or Moses Malone as a mentor, his career would be totally different. I truly believe that. If he had those guys, um, like, cause Billy Cunningham, he was great for me.
Yep.
He didn't give me anything. Because he like, no, you're not gonna start because you're fat and lazy. He said, you're gonna play because you're talented, but you're fat and lazy. And he said, you're not gonna start. even though I probably should have been starting. But Moses, man, I love that guy so much. For him to take me under his wing as at his stage of his career, to take a young kid under his wing, it changed my entire life. So I'll always love that guy. And I called him dad. And one of the most bittersweet moments of my life was giving a eulogy at his funeral. And I got to tell the world what he meant to me.
You know, if you had to choose for a player to help a team win, talent obviously is part of that. Would you rather have Moses on your team or Joel Embiid?
Moses, that's not even a contest.
It's clear, and because he does so many things for a team.
Yeah, but I told you, Howard, I think Joel Embiid's career would be totally different. I think Ben Simmons' career would be totally different if they had a coach like Billy Cunningham or had mentors like Dr. J. And first of all, let me shout out to Dr. J. Happy birthday, man. I love you. I want to thank you for everything you did for me. And every time I see you, I want to shout out. But his birthday is a couple days before mine this week. And I got love and respect for Doc. But I think if Joel Embiid and, like I say, Ben Simmons had a Billy Cunningham or a Moses or a Doc or somebody like that, they both careers would be totally different.
Okay, why would you take Moses over Embiid?
Because he's the hardest working guy I've probably ever been around. He's a no BS guy, but his work ethic is self-explanatory. That's why.
Charles, your pregame, postgame, halftime show was really one of the best. I mean, you guys have a great chemistry. You have fun. You're honest. You don't. There's nothing that's out of bounds. However, I don't even know when you're on anymore with ESPN. How is ESPN screwed up when people can find you and what you guys can do on that show? I don't even know when you're on anymore.
Well, I think the NBA screwed this thing up when they just went for the three highest bidders. They had, like, and I understand, we're all trying to make money. But I think the NBA is like, we're just going to take the most money. They wasn't concerned about, number one, our show, which they didn't have to, but they wasn't really concerned about the fans. They just took the most money, $2.5 billion a year from NBC, from ESPN, from Amazon for the next 11 years. So the players are set for the next 11 years, and God bless them. But the NBA didn't think about, hey, how are the NBA fans? They've seen the same two networks for the last 40 years. What nights are everything's going to be on? And then obviously when you add Amazon, like, we got to add a couple more nights. And so it's a really awkward situation. But for me, it's an honor to work for ESPN. They're the greatest sports network ever. I wish they did a better job of splicing it out through the season. I mean, through December and January, we only worked 2 days. But now they're making it up because we're working every day this weekend, which is fine. I mean, we're talking about basketball. It's not like a real job. But I wish they did a better job of spreading it out, splicing it up, whatever words you want to use. But, the NBA, they just took the most money. They had no concern for the fans whatsoever. And, it's going to be interesting. But at least, like I say, I work for ESPN, something I've always wanted to do. And I'm going to get to work the finals for the first time, which is pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to that because I've never worked the finals before.
You had, I don't know if the quotes are correct or the stories are correct. It was you were going to take a sabbatical because you were upset with him because you weren't working enough. What was all that about?
No, I said, like, how we went December and January and only worked 2 days. And now they're trying to squeeze everything in. I thought that was stupid, to be honest with you. Instead, we worked twice. We worked Christmas and like one other day, and all of December and January. But now they're gonna start making us work like every day on the weekend. I was like, first of all, I ain't worried about working 3 days in a row. But I'm like, why couldn't we work like a day here in December, a day? Because like I said, we were off the entire month of December. I'm like, we could have worked a night in December, like once a week, because we to let people know we were actually working.
Right.
And then we after we worked Christmas, we were off another month until we worked again. And I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense because that answers your first question. How the hell are people gonna know we're on and we're never freaking on?
Right. I know that's important. All right. So as far as the game, um, if you were the ruler of the NBA, the commissioner, I don't know if he could even change the game. What would you do to change the game to make it better and make the product a good product again? Because it's really not a good product.
Well, number one, I would say if your team stinks, you can't raise ticket prices. Okay, I hate that shit, Howard.
That's terrible.
Like there should be a rule. If your team is below 500, you cannot raise ticket prices. That'd be my first rule. Secondly, okay, let's fix tanking. When you to me, it's a very simple thing. Okay, if your team stinks, you get one ping pong ball. Okay, we're giving you extra ping pong balls for losing. What kind of shit is that? Okay, your team stinks. We're not gonna reward you for losing. You get one ping pong ball. That's it. One ping ball per team. If we're not gonna say every time you lose, we give you another ping pong ball. That makes zero sense whatsoever. That'd be one of my things. Okay, then you see teams like, well, we got to start losing now because this team gets our draft pick. No. If you trade your pick, you trade your pick. You don't get your cake and eat it too. Hey, let's trade this pick down the road 3 or 4 years. Then in 3 or 4 years, you're not winning. Like, you know, if we lose X amount of game or we win X amount of game, we get to keep our pick. No. Once you trade, because that's what teams are doing now. They're trying to get their cake and eat it too. Like, yeah, I traded that pick like 4 years ago, but I didn't know my situation then. Well, you shouldn't have traded it. No. Once you trade a pick, it's gone. We're not going to reward you. That would fix tanking right away. You get one ping pong ball. There's these other teams. We got probably 30 games to go, if that. They're gonna try to lose to get. Oh, every time we lose, we get another ping pong ball. What kind of shit is that, Howard? That's why teams are trying to lose. Look here, you got the Washington Wizards who traded for two good players, Anthony Davis and Trey Young. Excuse me. They're both gonna sit out the rest of the season to guarantee the Wizards gonna get a lottery pick. They're gonna keep losing. And then next year they're gonna show up with Anthony Davis and Trey Young, like, man, the Wizards are good all of a sudden. No shit, because Anthony Davis and Trey Young sit out the last 30 games of the season. Like, no, you can't do that. You get one ball. You get one ball. That's it. One ball per lottery team. You don't get an extra 20 balls because you lost 20 games. No,
Well,
hell no.
Scam Hinkie was the master of that. It was a Ponzi scheme. It was all about ping pong balls. But what if a team was proven to be tanking, you don't get your draft pick. You lose
Well,
your pick.
I don't agree with that, Howard, because tanking has always been in the NBA. Tanking has always been in the NBA. But now we're not teams are blatant about it. So you like listen, you don't want to be in the middle of the road. You want if your team stinks or you're in a city that free agents don't want to come to. I actually don't have a problem with tanking to a certain degree, but we shouldn't reward losing. That's what we're doing with like if you're in the lottery, that's fine. But you at least should put a competitive team out there and like, okay, we're gonna give you more ping pong balls every time you lose. No. Now that'll teach your ass not to tank.
Yeah.
Because how, let's be honest, how many times, if you go back and look, I think probably 1 out of 17, 18 times had a team with the worst record got the number one pick.
Yep.
Yeah. So that would be my suggestions. That's some things I would do.
Well, there's a lot of things that you can do to change the game, to make it better, or let's put it this way, to make it better. It's become a 3-point shooting contest,
Yes.
which is not good. They're never going to take the 3-point line away. If you move it back, then guys are going to still be shooting from half court. What do you do? Can you do anything with the 3-point line or the 3-point shot to kind of make this game, as Larry Brown used to say, play the game the right way, move the ball around, get your better shot?
Well, I actually, one thing they could do is see, my problem is not with the 3-point shot, it's who's shooting the shots, Howard. We got bad players jacking up threes. Okay, if you're a good 3-point shooter, have at it. If you one of these guys and you can't shoot threes, why are you shooting threes? We need more. We need to give more coaches power and says, hey, man, you're not a 3-point shooter. Quit damn shooting threes. Howard, it's not the point that it's a 3-point shooting contest. It's everybody shooting threes. The notion that everybody's a good 3-point shooter, that's ridiculous and stupid.
And that's, but that's what it is. I mean, guys aren't even getting to the 3-point line anymore. They're taking
Guys are going on a fast break instead of taking a layup. They're flaring out to shoot a three. I'm like, yo, man, you had a layup. It's all right to shoot a layup every now and then. But listen, guys are got like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, that they ruin the NBA because everybody think they Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Well, I mean, and they were really pretty good.
All right. Well, you're not. Yeah, but Howard, that's my point. Y'all are not them. Stop jacking up threes.
Right, and those are some of the things. I don't know if you can reverse the bad to get it back to being good, because the players just control the game and they don't listen to the coaches. And if the coach gets too tough, they just fire the coach. I mean,
and that's what I say. Give more power to the coaches. And because the best job to have is a general manager, because that's one of the great scams going in the NBA. Because as a general manager, you can bring the players and the coaches and keep your job for a long period of time.
That's Daryl Morey.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I said, "What job?" When I interviewed for some of those jobs, I was like, well, I want to run things because I get to blame everybody else, even though I'm making all the decisions. I keep trading players, I keep firing coaches, and then after a while, people are like, well, there's been one consistent with all this losing, one guy, and then they finally get fired after a bunch of years.
You know, when Morey makes a trade, most of them have been bad. I don't remember any good trades that he's made, and he's kind of. The owner who doesn't know that, I don't think he knows the foul line's 15 feet from the basket, Josh Harris. But the thing is, he just lets him run the team and do whatever he wants, and he tells you how good it is. I don't know that Jarrett McCain fit because he had too many short guards if you played Maxey and McCain together, but he got nothing for him. He tells you what a great,
Well, let me say this. If Oklahoma City wants you doing something right. Because Sam Presti is the best general manager in basketball right now. I can't, and the thing that's amazing about him, Howard, he ain't getting lottery picks.
Right.
Like he taking, like when you look at their bench, they getting, like when they've been good for the last X amount of years, he getting guys late and in the second round who are really good players. So I would take it if I'm Jared. I'll be like, man, OKC wants me. I must be doing something right, plain and simple.
Who wins the NBA championship among maybe 2 or 3 teams?
Well, you give me OKC and Denver right now, I'll take my chances. I think OKC is probably the favorite, obviously. But if you give me OKC and Denver, I'll give you the field. Now, I told you, I love what Cleveland did going out getting James Harden. They're my pick to come out of the East. But let me tell you this, man. The wild card is Jason Tatum.
Yep.
And I tell you what's good about it. I hear these fools on TV talk about, well, if Jason Tatum come back, how's that going to fit in? I said, well, first of all, it's a great situation for him because he's not going to come back at 100%. He can actually play Robin to Batman with Jalen And I mean, like, that's a perfect situation. He don't have to come back in and be the guy. The guy. He can come in and be the second guy.
Right.
And
Yep.
I says, this is a great situation from him. I said, he can come back and he don't have to be Jason Tatum. He can be Jay Tatum. And Jaylen Brown can be Jaylen Brown like he's been all year. And the Celtics, like I say, they made that Vucevic trade, which I think is a great trade. So, man, the East is going to be great because the Celtics and Pistons are right there. Man, the East is going to be the playoffs are going to be great, especially in the East, in my opinion.
And the Sixers might, they'll be on the top edge of the play-in game. Is it's the playoffs. I mean, just include all those teams. I don't even understand that.
Well, listen, it all comes down to health with the Sixers, plain and simple, Howard.
Well, and Joel Embiid's never going to be healthy again, just because he always comes up with another injury. But let me get to another part. You're a busy guy because now you're getting ready to do NCAA basketball. Do you really enjoy that, or is it too many teams to watch? I mean, what is it about it that may be good for you?
I get to go to the Final Four every year, which is, other than the Olympics, the coolest thing I've ever been involved with. The Final Four is it's amazing, Howard. Especially the Saturday when you got 20,000 for each fan base, and everybody think they got a chance to win a national championship. It's flat out amazing. Now, the one thing that sucks about it, I have to watch about 3 college games a day, and I'm watching some schools that I know damn well ain't got no chance of getting to the Final Four. And I said, it's kind of like college, and it sucks because I have to do my own homework. Like in college, I had somebody do my homework for me, and in March Madness, I have to do my own homework, and I'm like, holy shit, this is what it's like to actually do homework. So, like I say, but I can't go crazy because I'm just watching basketball. But it really, it's a lot of work. I'd be so glad when we get to the selection process
Right.
because you have to watch probably an extra 20 teams before you get to just in case there's an upset somewhere here or there. But and they do a really good job of sending us reports on each conference every week. But like, it's a lot of work, but man, the reward, there's nothing can screw up March Madness, Howard. It's a pretty special, it's a special event. Like I say, the Olympics are the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. But the second coolest thing is the March Madness, man. It's pretty special. And as screwed up as college sports are now, there's nothing like March Madness.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't even know if there's a team Eastern Tennessee State, but all this borderline teams. Name one player on half those teams that you got to watch.
Yeah, you count like, first of all, you're not gonna remember anything. All you're really trying to do, to be honest with you, because to win, you got to have a style of play, and you got to know, like, okay, I remember that kid. He's good at this. He's their best player. That's pretty much the extent of it. Like, I can't learn everything about Davidson. Um, I can't learn everything about Tulane or North Texas. I mean, so I watched North Texas play the other night. It was a heck of a game. They played against Memphis. And it was a game of spurts, actually. Like, everybody would go on a 10-0 run, and North Texas had the last 10-0 run. But actually, I think they beat Temple last night, if I remember correctly.
Uh,
Yeah, I think North Texas played Temple last
yeah, they
night.
played them recently, and
Yeah.
they did beat them.
Oh, did Temple lose to Alabama Birmingham? I
I
think
think
they
they
lost to
did.
Alabama Birmingham
Yeah,
last night. So I
and
was watching that. Yeah, that was yeah. But the main thing, man, the beauty of the tournament, man. Everybody gets to root for their college. There's gonna be a bunch of upsets. I think Arizona and Michigan are the 2 best teams. Duke is solid, but I think that Michigan And I think Michigan and Arizona are the two best teams.
But here, there's mid majors are done with the NIL. Done. I got no chance. So you can choose 68 or whatever it is. That I guess that's the number, but maybe half of them have a chance to get to the Sweet 16,
Which
or
is a win.
right, which is a win for them. But did you see a player recently from Kansas? I think it was Kansas. He decided, told the coach, "Nah, I can't play tonight." The first pick in the draft. He's going to be the first pick in the draft. Like, because he's already getting his money. It doesn't matter. He's already going to be the first pick in the draft. How much do you think NIL, and I know guys are getting money, but it's now kind of out of control. How much is NIL hurting college athletics?
Well, NIL is going to ruin college athletics because, number one, those mid majors, they ain't got no chance now. Because some of those schools can't afford to pay players.
Yep.
So it's going to ruin the game. Yeah, the kid Peterson, he's done this like 5 or 6, 7 times where he pulled himself out the game, but told him before the game he wasn't playing, and they got him projected to go number one. It's sad, man. It's sad. Like he had yesterday, he had like 20 points at halftime, and they said, "Hey, I'm not playing in the second half." And apparently the people around him are like, "Hey, just show off a little bit, then take yourself out the game." And it's really unfortunate, Howard, because the kid's a very talented player. And I know Bill Self a little bit, and I felt bad for him in the press conference last night. He's like, because like he wanted to throw his hands up and say, "Hey, there's nothing I can do." The kid didn't want to play. He played 20 minutes. He scored 20 points. He'd had enough. And there's nothing I can say or do. And I'm like, are y'all serious right now? And listen, what he should do, in my opinion, is say, "Hey, you know what? Just go. Just go into the NBA. I know this not going to be popular." I would say, "Hey, you know what? Thanks for coming to Kansas. It's not working out. You don't want to play. Because if you can't rely on a player and trust him, you can't have him on your team, Howard, because it's gonna affect the other players. If I was Bill Self, I'd say, "Hey man, just go on to the NBA. We're gonna play the rest of the season without you."
You got to worry about him in the tournament. I mean, you get to the final four, the final eight, and he knows he's going number one in the NBA.
And if he's got like a pinky toe that's sore, he not gonna play.
No, it's just
So yeah,
it's ridiculous. Hey, you're working a lot. Has it screwed up your golf game?
I'm playing great golf right now, Howard. I'm better than you. I mean, I'm just better than you, plain and simple.
You weren't at one time. You were not.
I was not better than you, but I'm better than you right now. I play golf pretty much every day. I am rolling right now. And when I get back to Philly this summer, I'm just going to kick your ass religiously. Like every Sunday, I'm just going to beat you because I'm just better than you. And same thing with Neil Hartman because he's a fraud too. He can hit the ball a long way, and he'll
It's
hit a
all over the
fairway.
place.
He'll hit a fairway once a week. But he's a fraud. He's a fraud just like you. I'm gonna miss my boy, one of my great friends, George Andrigan, who passed away. I
Yeah,
love him like a brother.
may he rest in
But
peace.
he's got a relative named Ronnie who's a fraud too. He ducked me too. See, it's all amazing. All you guys used to beat me like a drum. I can't find y'all now. When I sucked at golf, y'all were blowing up my phone. But now that I'm good at golf, y'all are all cowards. You, Neil Hartman, Ronnie, y'all all cowards. Oh, the only one who's not a coward, I got to give some love to my boy Fran Dunphy. Hey,
Fran's a
but
good player. He's a
let me
good
tell you
player.
something. Fran Dunphy can play. He's like the old Ernie Els. He got the smoothest tempo. I'm trying to figure out how he was a hell of a coach and played golf like that.
Well, you find time. I guess you find time. You squeeze it in.
But he's the only one of you guys who's not a fraud. He'll play me, but you guys, I cannot find y'all now that I'm good at golf because y'all are all frauds.
All right, I'll find you. How's that? Hey, I don't work too hard. I'll tell you that. Don't work too hard because I know, it's just then it would be a job. You don't want it to be a job.
Howard, that's never gonna happen, brother. My hard working days are over.
Well, which means you're going to just keep on working. You said you were going to retire at 60. That was bullshit.
I told him, no, not bullshit, Howard. I've been very strict with people um, about my work. Like I told them I would stay to 60, and I didn't realize. And then TNT asked me to stay for 2 more years till we got the new TV deal. I had no idea they were going to lose it because they were concerned that they were going to lose the NBA, and they did. So, and I told them because I want the main thing, I want to make sure the people at TNT were still working. So, because everybody here got fired because we lost when we lost the NBA. The only people kept our job, the people on our show, which really sucked because those people like my family. So, me and Ernie told them we stay a couple more years, and then after that, I ain't gonna keep working in forever. But me and Ernie, because Ernie's a guy I listen to. And I'm so glad I was able to keep these people their jobs because they mean a lot to me. But like I say, I told them I'd stay a couple more years, then I'm gone, brother.
Okay, as long as you're having fun. If you're not having fun, you're not trying hard enough. As long as you're having fun, that's the whole thing. Just got to have fun.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, Howard, I'm on the gravy train. Listen, I tell people I'll be 63. I Every day after 50 is a blessing. Every day after 50 is gravy. It's only sad when young people die. I tell people that. It's only sad when young people die. I've been here 63 years. If I die tomorrow, I'm good because I've had a great long life. But I tell people, man, every day I get out to 50 is gravy, and I've had a great run. And when it's over, and I ain't sad.
Okay, well, as long as you're having fun, that's good. But don't go away because people still want to. They still think they can kick your ass, and they will kick your ass.
Well, hey, Howard, you're going to be begging me for shots by the end of the summer.
Well, all I need is one aside.
Good. Let's go. One aside. We good then. One aside. Let's go.
Okay. Hey, Charles, enjoy it. Have fun. Watch the NBA with the 3-point shooters, one after another. Watch Embiid play about 10 more games the rest of the season, and everything.
Hey, Howard, I will say this. You said something earlier that Embiid's not going to play the first game after the break. That's disappointing to me. He's had a week vacation. That's very disappointing to me.
Yeah, it's just, but it's what the game is today. It's sad. Hey, Charles, I always have fun with you. Have as much fun here as kicking your ass on the golf course. So it's all good.
Hey, I'll send a limo for your ass. I don't want you to get caught in traffic. I don't want no damn accidents. I'll send a limo for your ass. Uber, Waymo, I'll come pick your ass up. Whatever you want to do.
Make sure there's a driver in the car. I won't get in the car without.
All right, boy. I love your ass. Be safe.
All right, you too. And thanks again, Charles. Take care.
Anytime, brother.
All right, talk to you later. All right,
Later.
Charles Barkley. He's living the life, boy. He's living the life. There's nothing wrong with living the life. Living the life is good, and he's doing a great job at it. And it's always so much fun to talk to Charles. And I want to also talk about my presenting sponsor, who's an award winner, who I know plays golf, but he also helps people with their finances, and that's Jeff Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff's won a prestigious award. He's won a prestigious award because he's earned it, because he's helped the people. He's helped the people that need to invest for their future. And that's what's important as far as Jeff Stillwell's going. This award is given. He's established himself as one of the company's top advisors. Only a select number of high-performing advisors earn this award, and Jeff Stillwell has earned that award. Give him a call, 732-343-0813. There's some things that I want to touch on after just a few things I want to touch on. And Charles talked about it, and we'll talk about some of those things too. Wilt is not fifth among the list, and Wilt will always be the greatest 76er player ever. So let's get that straight. All right. I also want to tell you about Thomas Chevrolet. Thomas Chevrolet, family-owned business, great people, fun to walk fun to walk through the doors because those people are always, you can tell it's a family business. They're just regular people, no pressure, no haggling, no nothing, just looking at some nice vehicles, whether it's the Corvette, the Equinox, the Silverado, the Diverse, or the Tahoe. They do a great job. 38 years of doing great jobs. Up to $14,000 in savings available right now. 0% APR available up to 60 months right now. Thomas Chevrolet service department that can service all your cars. They are a Corvette specialist dealer, which is important. Tops in the area when it comes to service. Also, a great selection of pre-owned cars. Thomas Chevrolet, 1263 West Baltimore Pike and Media. Give them a call, 610-566-8600, or visit thomaschevy.com. And Piazza Property Pros, another fine partner of the program. Amazing designs, and they can put together designs for you with their computer excellence and their designers and give you an idea of what your backyard could look like with a pool. But if you want a pool, don't wait. Don't wait, because people are signing up for that now. And there's only so many pools you can make time-wise. So you want to get in on it so you have a pool in your backyard for the summer. Whether it's pool maintenance, they can do that. Whether it's landscaping, they can do that. Fencing, hardscaping, your front, your back, they can do it all. Fire pits, hot tubs, whatever it is. Piazza Property Pros, with their 25 years of experience, can handle all that. Give them a call, 610-566-2608. That's 610-566-2608. And check them out on the internet, piazzaoutdoor.com. I can't, can it be any more fun than talking to Charles? I guess it's difficult, but he's always so much fun, and he's always got something to say. He's in great shape. That's a good thing. You know, I showed, and I know my tailor, Maroney Custom Clothing, has made my suits. I showed it earlier. I'm going to show what he did to my suit in memory of my doggies. He put my doggies in the suit. All my doggies, pictures of all my doggies, in memory of them, in the suit. But Charles is terrific. All right, a couple of things. Now, I'm going to have a question for you for something. Charles said so many things. I have so many options on a question, but I'll ask you a question so you can win something. Before I go any further, let me tell you of the winner, and it was over 2 shows, of the baseball, the Topps baseball cards, the Series 1, 2026 Series 1, the first edition, the unopened box, where somewhere in there is probably an autograph for there's an autograph for a replica card. Really kind of a fun, different gift, and that's courtesy of Fanatics. They have so many things going on, Fanatics, and that's one of the things. And I'll have some other things from Fanatics giveaway. But Bill Laybourne, now it was over 2 shows. Brett Boone, most influential player in his career, Edgar Martinez. And then we talked about with Mark Lawrence on Saturday, the top quarterbacks in the NFL all time by Bleacher Report. And it was Brady, Montana, and Peyton Manning. I don't agree with that order. I don't agree with those top 3, but that's what it was. Bill Laybourne, you got it right. You were one of the entries that got it right. You were selected at random, and congratulations. We'll have a question for you coming up to win a pair of Oakley sunglasses. All right. The Eagles, with the combine going on Tuesday and Wednesday, all kinds of chatter because the general managers get together, the coaches get together, and the media's in there trying to throw things up in the air and see what sticks. A.J. Brown is a big topic of conversation. I'm not sure whether they can get a first-round pick for him, unless maybe New England, because it's the next to last pick in the first round. I don't know. You can get a first-round pick, but you got to get rid of his salary because you can get a wide receiver in the draft. I was listening to Daniel Jeremiah. He spoke at the combine. Pretty sharp guy. You worked for the Eagles in personnel at one time. He's worked for teams, and now he works for the NFL Network. But he said there's a lot of good edge rushers and there's a lot of good wide receivers in the draft. So if they trade him, they could get another wide receiver. Right now, nobody's going to be as good as A.J. Brown, but they could free up, if somebody takes his money, they could free up some cap room. So it will be interesting to see what they do. Another thing, he mentioned some names. I think the Eagles, offensive linemen, the good ones go, in the first round. Could the Eagles get to somebody? They need to get some offensive linemen, for the future, possibly this year. They need to get some good offensive linemen. Possibly they need an edge rusher, because I don't think Jalen Phillips, on the money he's going to get, will come back here. Remember, I think he was a first round pick when he was drafted, Jaden Phillips. And the Eagles only had to trade a third round pick, and he was 26 years old. A.J. Brown is like 28, 29. You look at what years those guys have left, and I don't know what you'd get for A.J. Brown, but saving the money could help. I know they like AJ and they're open to listening to teams and see what they offer. I don't think anybody's going to blow you over, but they've got to make some tough decisions. I think it's a 50-50 chance that he'll be here or won't be here. I'm not going to say he's gone. I'm not going to say he's going to stay. He obviously wants to stay, but is he going to be happy with the things that possibly could happen this year on offense? So that's a lot of chatter with that at the combine, even though it's players that are already out there. It'll be interesting to see whether the Eagles sign Dallas Goedert. He's a free agent. He gets hurt. Terrific player for the Eagles, but he gets hurt. What's the money? He would take less. They do need tight ends. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in that situation. Jake Elliott did not have a good year last season, and he really didn't have a good year the year before. Very, very athletic, talented guy, but he still has a strong leg, but you got to put it through the uprights, which he wasn't doing a good job of last year. There's no question that the Eagles will bring in kickers to camp this season. I don't know if there's any good kickers in college football. A lot of guys with strong legs. It wouldn't shock me if the Eagles, and it wouldn't be in the early rounds, if the Eagles draft a kicker. It's really kind of going to be interesting. And Phillies, no more news out of there. And then Harper and Schwarber leave soon for the World Baseball Classic, whatever it is. The one thing I learned, and I forget who it was that told me one year, I saw some really good numbers in spring training. And somebody told me, says, you can't pay attention to any of those numbers in spring training. Home runs, the wind blows out a lot of wind down there. And pitchers are usually working on things, and you know what pitch is coming because they're working on a certain pitch. It's not what they do. They just try to refine something that they're working on, and they get a lot of the same things. So don't pay attention. If you see numbers in spring training, don't pay attention to it. And as far as the Sixers, who gives a damn? Really, Embiid plays. He doesn't rebound. He doesn't go from baseline to baseline. He stops at the 3-point line. It's just he's always out of gas. He doesn't rebound. He can't defend like he used to. He got a rebound, and it was a game this week. He was standing on the ground and the ball came to him. I don't think you're supposed to get the rebound in that case, but they probably gave it to him. It's just Sixers are brutal, absolutely brutal. Like, who cares anymore about the Sixers? They have I saw Tony, you're delusional. Oh, they could shock people. They ain't shocking anybody. It would be a shock if they get past the first round. That would be a shock. They're just not good enough. But whatever. It's a it will be a season done. They're going to be done for years. Charles was kind of a little soft on Embiid. He's never going to be healthy, and he's never going to be good enough. That's what it comes down to. Never going to be healthy and never going to be good enough. But we'll see what the Eagles do. Combine's over. There'll be a lot of chatter in the next couple of weeks, more chatter about players and things and draft picks. There'll be all kinds of fluctuation, but the Eagles can get an edge rusher. I think they can get a wide receiver. And they might have to move up from 23 to get a good offensive lineman. So Charles said a lot of good things about fixing the NBA. All right. Let me give you the question. There's so many good questions, so many things that Charles said that are really good. I could ask you a question about who his top 5 are. I don't necessarily agree with it. And I put Bird above LeBron, who is 7th in Charles' book. The best player in the world, he mentioned right now. But I'll say this. He thought 2 teams that have a chance to win the national championship. I could ask you that. But what I'm going to ask you is the most important person in Charles Barkley's career. Who did Charles Barkley say to win the pair of Oakley sunglasses? Submit your answer to my website, the contact page, howardeskin.com, by midnight this Friday, February 27th. Watch the show Saturday, the 28th. I'm going to have Mark Lawrence on again. He's been doing okay with the college basketball picks. Have him on again. The show on Saturday is 8 a.m. on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe and follow me on the others, but subscribe to YouTube and you're notified as soon as the show comes on. And I guess the other platforms will notify you as well. The winner will be randomly chosen from all the correct entries. The question again, Charles Barkley said, who did he say it was the most important person in his career? All right. So I think we covered a lot of bases. But with Charles, you cover a lot of bases anyway. So I really, I always appreciate when Charles comes on. So I have a guest lined up for next Wednesday who will be interesting. I'll tell you on Saturday who that guest is most likely going to be. I want to thank Joe Gangemi, who did the technical work on the other side. I want to thank Tony Anastasia for all the graphics that she puts together on my websites. And I'll just leave you with this. As far as the Phillies, I don't think you're going to really see anything significant until possibly the trade deadline. You saw where Rhys Hoskins signed with the Guardians. He was never coming here, despite what was out there on social media. Never, ever, ever. There was never a possibility. Bryce Harper said this week that he didn't ask Dave Dombrowski to look into Rhys Hoskins, who I like Rhys. If he was going to stay here, he should have stayed here the year after he left. But Bryce Harper wanted to play first base, so that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, thanks to you as well. Thanks to Charles Barkley. Thanks to all the people involved in the show. And thanks to you for watching and listening and riding with the king on the Howard Eskin Show. I'll see you on Saturday.
Whoa. Oh, 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 oh. Yes, K-I-N. Oh, yeah. Hey, you turn it up, Philly. It's time to roll on the ones and twos, taking full control from the link to the X, from the sixes to the fields. One voice cuts through, giving you the real. He broke the stories, he started the fire, launched the whole game back in '86, never retired. Heroes crown him, yeah, they call him the king. Fur coat flashing, bling bling in every ring. He's the hardest working, great talking dog. Call in with your take, but don't get it wrong. He'll call you a nitwit if you're acting a fool, but deep down you love it, that's the Eskin rule. Riding with the king, yeah, we're riding with the king. Howard Eskin Show, let the truth ring. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, he knows the deal. Philly sports royalty, bow down and kneel. Riding with the king, put your hands in the air. From South Philly streets to the Delaware. No filter, no fear, just the facts on the mic. It's the Howard Eskin Show. Let's go get sight. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king. Hey, riding with the king. Riding with the king.